Hey there yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome back to my yoga time. Today I have another deeply restorative Yin Yoga practice for you. I will be using a yoga bolster for this class. If you don't have a yoga bolster, you can improvise with 2 or 3 pillows stacked on top of one another or a really thick blanket that's rolled up. And I've also got the one yoga block. So if you don't have that yoga block, a really thick book or even a towel that's rolled up will do the trick. During today's practice, I'm going to encourage you to take buddhi mudra, which is where we connect the very tip of the thumb to the tip of the pinky finger. So this mudra relates to the water element and is said to be therapeutic for the kidneys and the bladder. And it also relates to our clear, free-flowing communication. So in palm reading, it's the pinky finger, which is known as the antenna finger. So along with our clear, free-flowing communication and the water element, this mudra is also said to induce a calm, clear state of mind. So when you're ready, let's begin. I've got the yoga bolster running parallel to the short side of the mat, and we'll begin taking a laying side bend. So just coming down with the prop underneath your ribs on the right side, and make sure you can lay your right shoulder on the mat. Now, if your head doesn't meet the floor with ease, you can use your second prop there. Otherwise, just resting the head on the mat. To begin with, we'll have both knees bent and the palms touching. And before we come to stillness, just a little bit of movement here. Only if there's no discomfort in your left shoulder. If there is any sort of impingement or injury there, just keep the palms together. There's no need to move the arm. Otherwise, as you inhale, let's very slowly trace those fingers along the floor, lifting the arm above the head. And then when you begin to exhale, lower that hand back down. Continue to move with the breath. See if you can slow everything down. And gently placing the very tip of your tongue where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth. Doing your best to keep the tongue in this position for the entire class. And gently toning through the back of your throat for Ujjayi breath. And this time as you lift the left arm overhead, we're going to keep it there. Maybe you can take the arm back a little further, as if you're trying to rotate the heart towards the ceiling. Option to take that buddhi mudra through your right hand. And if you're looking for a little deeper sensation, you can straighten those legs. And let the breath, the moving the body, be your point of concentration during this class. So each time the mind wanders, you're coming back to the breath meeting the nostrils, or the body gently expanding and contracting. Know that each inhalation is starting to press those lines of tension. Breathing away any excess tension or stress with that long exhalation. And on your next exhalation, let's lower that left arm down. You can bend those knees, gently press yourself up, and we'll change sides straight away. Beginning with both knees bent and the palms touching. When you're ready, inhale, tracing that semicircle along the floor. Maybe the hands are coming above the head or even a touch behind. And then you have the option, next time you lift the right arm up, to keep it above the head, finding buddhi mudra through your left hand, maybe straightening the legs. And feeling the body move with the ebb and flow of your breath. On your next exhalation, lower that right hand down. Very gently start to press yourself up. Keeping the bolster where it is, recruiting your block or your thick book. And lay your navel down onto the bolster now. So we're coming into a modified Sphinx pose. So you can use the block underneath the forearms. If you need to support the head, you can always take the hands to the jaw. Try to relax the shoulders down the spine. Feeling the pulse of the breath move the body against the bolster. And when you're ready, let's begin to release the pose, bending the arms and the knees, lifting the hips up. Just move your bolster to the side. You might like to just briefly move into tabletop position and start to round the back. And here, feel as though you're pressing the knees away from one another, just to bring in a little more space into the lower back, hips, the sacrum, and you can release. We're going to lower down onto our backs now. And once on your back, take a hold of your left leg. You can straighten and relax the right leg. We're going to move into a twist. You can use your block or your book underneath the knee for support. And from here, we're going to take a little back bend as well. So cat pulling tail, little back bend with a twist. If you need to lighten the pose, you can prop your head up and lay a little bit more on the right side. Otherwise, you can try and keep the back of the head on the floor. We're going to move the right leg back, bend the knee, and take a hold of the foot. And of course, if you can't reach the foot, you can always use a strap or a belt. And gently begin to deepen your breath to deepen the pose. And with your next exhalation, release the foot. Let's roll onto your back and we'll change sides straight away. Taking that right knee over to the left, supporting the body. Rolling onto the left side and propping up the head if you need to. Otherwise, keeping the upper body where it is, simply bend your left leg and take a hold of the foot. Inhale. And as you exhale, release the foot, return to your back. So from here, we're going to place one of your props underneath your bottom so you'll lift up into a supported bridge pose. I'm going to use the block, but you might prefer to use your bolster or the pillows if you prefer something a little softer. So just finding that comfortable place behind your bottom, behind your hips to place your block. And then from here, we'll take a hold of the right knee and your left foot, just wiggle it over to the right and then allow that knee to fall out to the side. So it's as though your left leg's in butterfly, you're holding onto the right leg. Now, if this doesn't feel good for your hips or your lower back, you can always keep the foot on the floor or you can straighten that leg instead. And checking the placement of your tongue. Breathing down into the lower belly, the hips. And when you're ready, let's bring the sole of the left foot to the floor. We'll raise both legs up towards the ceiling. So option one, you might prefer to take a reclined pigeon pose. So you can bend your left leg, take your right ankle to the knee and hold onto that leg. Option two, we'll take reclined cow face legs, Gomukhasana. So you can straighten the legs and inhale out nice and wide. Exhale, right leg over the left. You're crossing at the thighs, bending the knees. You might hold onto the knees or maybe even the feet or ankles and gently guide the thighs in nice and close towards your chest. So both postures should give you a lovely stretch through the outer hip, the buttocks. So just choosing the pose which feels best for your body. And every day is a different day. What felt good yesterday might not be the case today. And let's release. You can unravel those legs. Holding onto the left knee now. Option to move your right foot a little further to the left, then let the knee come out to the side. Again, if that doesn't feel good for your body, you can straighten that leg or you can keep the sole of the foot on the floor instead. And let's release. When you're ready, lifting both legs up. So either taking a reclined pigeon on the other side, otherwise inhale those legs out nice and wide, left leg over the right. Take the knees, the ankles, or maybe the feet. And let's release. Lower those feet back down to the floor. Press into the balls of the feet. Inhale, lifting up the hips. Gently pressing down and away through the feet, broadening the collarbones. And then we'll lift up the heels, remove your prop, and lower down one vertebrae at a time. When you touch down to the mat, lift up the feet, keep the arms straight, push the hands into the knees, pull the knees back into the hands, and imprint the lower back onto the mat. Then you can relax the hands over the knees, let the shins flop. Exhale to bend the elbows. Inhale to straighten the arms. I'm going to move from here into Shavasana, but of course, if your body is needing one more pose or you have the urge to take another twist or anything like that, feel free to do so. For my Shavasana, I'm placing my bolster behind the knees, which is especially soothing for the back. So just letting those legs fall heavy, tucking the shoulders under, taking buddhi mudra once again, softening the forehead, the tongue and jaw. Feel the breath touch the nostrils. Feel free to swallow if the mouth is dry. Wiggling toes and fingers when you're ready. And following any urges to move or stretch. In your own time, rolling to your preferred side. Before bringing yourself up to seated. Thanks for practicing with me today, yogis. I hope that you enjoyed that class. Please do subscribe to the channel. If so, not just my channel, but any teacher you watch on a regular basis. Best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Wishing you a lovely day.